Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and we have even more info on units. We have 3 Super EZAs to work with, and we have the banner unit Champa, and we're gonna get into those details here really quickly. And with that, I just want to give a shout out to all of you that are watching my videos. It means so much to me. Thank you all. Okay, now we have first up the Super EZA for ZAMASU Goku here. And as you can see, this is step 4. This is the Super EZA. And in Super EZAs, the leader skill does not change. Active skills do not change. And the super attacks do not change. The only thing that ever changes is the passive. Okay, so I do want to pull up the old one, the regular EZA, just to compare the two. So just bear with me one moment. Okay, so there is a huge difference between the regular EZA and the Super EZA. And it starts off with 100% more attack and defense as the basic effect, then changes key spheres from physical to SDR, launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack, lowers superclass enemies attack and defense by 30%, and extreme class allies attack and defense by raises extreme class allies attack and defense by 40%. Then we have, for 4 turns on the character's entry turn, a 20% damage reduction. That is entirely new. Then we have, when there is a future saga category enemy, or when allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class characters, which is changing from when facing 2 or more enemies. Used to have an additional attack that has a 30% chance of becoming a super attack. Now it's 3 key, 40% chance to perform a crit and damage reduction, and launches a guaranteed additional super attack. Total upgrade right there. Then we have, for every attack received, it used to be the regular EZA 1 key up to 6. Now it's 2 key up to 10. And that is insane. Now, this is entirely new. This section right here is just all pretty much new. When attacking with 12 or more key, another 159% attack and defense. When attacking with 18 or more key, 159% defense. When the target enemy is in the following status: 59% or less, attack down or defense down, he gets an additional 159% attack and a guaranteed crit. And oh my gosh, he's going to be great in prime battles and the support memory boost stages and all these stages that you can only bring in these free-to-play drop units. Insane. Okay, now this is a little unclear here, right? Prior to this, for every final blow delivered was 20% attack and defense up to 59%. Now, after delivering a final blow, attack, defense, and chance of evading enemy's attack of 59%. I believe this is once only because it has this added here. However, this comma right here might mean that the attack stacks, but the defense and chance of evading enemy's attack is just once only. This isn't very clear. Please let me know your thoughts down below. I would really like to see what you guys think. And now we get to the juicy details of what's happening here, and I just am wondering which one I'll do first. I guess I'm gonna do the Rosé first, as I believe the Vegito is just a smidge better. Just a smidge. Okay, we have him basically useless in his regular EZA. Sheesh. 100% attack and extreme class allies key +3 and attack of 30%. And then for every attack received, 30% defense up to 180%. That is a 6-time thing that you need to get hit. He doesn't have defense prior to that in his path. Okay. 200% attack and defense. He's got defense now. 20% damage reduction. All allies key +3 in attack and defense of 30%. Guaranteed additional super attack, which his super attack greatly raises defense for 1 turn and greatly lowers defense permanently. Stacking. When receiving an attack, he gets 200% defense and an additional defense of 100% when HP is 70% or less. Okay, that's pretty big. That is pretty big. That'll make him a little bit more tankier in difficult situations. Then he's got, for every attack received, 60% attack up to 300%. That's 5 times. And a chance of performing a critical hit of 10% to 50%. And damage reduction rate of 25% within the turn up to 50%. This is 3 separate things happening every attack received. And you can see here, it's got that line over here. And that is 1, and then it has this as a separate thing here. That is going to make him just so much more tankier. And then he has this on top of all that. When all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class characters, or when there is another future saga category ally attacking in the same turn, he's got guaranteed guard, even more tankiness. And super class allies chance of performing a critical hit of 20%, and then extreme class allies chance of performing a critical hit of 20% for 2 turns, makes him a 2-turn support. We've had all these events where we need a 2-turn support to get these max damage in Million Arena. It was insane. In the final, I didn't manage to get more than 86 million and change. I just didn't have the TN. I could not fill that in. Well, that defense lowering that would have helped me get over that 90 million mark. Okay, and now on to the Vegito Blue. Vegito Blue used to be 40% attack and defense, launches an additional attack that has a 30% chance of becoming a super attack, and then has a 70% chance of launching an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. And then when receiving a normal attack, 40% damage reduction temporarily and counters with tremendous power. Now he's got 200% attack and defense, 20% damage reduction, permanent. Launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack, and then randomly changes key spheres of a certain type, physical excluded, to rainbow key spheres. And then 150% attack and defense when attacking. For every attack, perform 30% attack within the turn. And then when receiving a normal attack, 60% damage reduction temporarily and counters with tremendous power. When receiving a super attack, 50% chance of evading enemies' attack temporarily. Then chance of evading enemies' attack 30% temporarily when HP is 70% or less. So if you are under 70% HP, you have a 80% chance to dodge the super attack. Hooey, his major weakness has been pretty much nullified by 80%. And then we have this. When all allies attacking the same turn are superclass, or when there's another feature side category ally attacking the same turn, these attacks are effective against all types. Superclass allies get 40% attack and defense for 2 turns, and extreme class allies get 40% for 1 turn. That turn, basically. Wow. Just wow. He is not as defensive as Rosé, because Rosé has all that damage reduction and guard, where he, even if evasion is disabled, he can still be viable. But here, it's almost just not viable. Now, of course, we do have to see what his stats will look like. He's just got the 40% here at the bottom, and he's got that 150% here, and then the 20% damage reduction to 200% here. And this means that he is most likely not going to be your slot 1 unit in any event where you can't dodge, because these events, they just can super anywhere. Okay, and now we move on to Champa. Champa, the most, I'll say with quotation marks, the most prudent character to insert here as a banner character. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Okay, we've got Realm of Gods and Universe, or Universe 6. Sorry, not and. It is a banner unit. He plus 3 and 130% to stats. He's got 166% attack and defense. Chance of performing a critical hit and damage reduction rate of 22%. And Realm of Gods or Universe 6 allies, key plus 2 and attack and defense of 66%. Oh my word. That is the biggest support buff in the game, if I'm not mistaken. That is the biggest support buff in the game. Wow. Okay. And when all allies attacking in the same turn are ROG or Universe 6 category characters, he's got another 166% attack, chance of performing a critical hit and damage reduction rate of 22% additionally, and then randomly changes key spheres of a certain type. AGL and physical excluded 2 rainbow key spheres. Another rainbow key sphere changer. For every key sphere obtained, 111% defense up to a 666%. Wow, and you're looking for 6 or more key spheres so that he can get that 22% damage reduction. He's gonna have 66% damage reduction on pretty much any team you're running him. Oh my word. Wow. This unit is cracked. And then he has this on top. When attacking with 12 or more key, 166% additional attack, 66% chance of 166% additional attack and defense, and 6% chance of 1,666% attack. I would go max additional and rest crit on this guy. Yeah. I would go max additional, rest crit, maybe dodge after additional, because he's got this 66% like crit anyway. Oh my gosh, because every time you attack with 12 or more key, you got that proc chance to get that, that 1666%. He doesn't have any additionals in his passive, so you kind of want I for sure would want to get max additionals into this guy. And I'm low-key more excited for this unit than I am for the LRs, the new LRs. I don't want. Okay, I'm definitely gonna be putting more effort into the Dokkan Festival banner, I believe. Okay. Now we have the super attack. He's got very little categories though, but you're primarily going to be running him on these two categories anyway. Okay. Then we have the super attack is greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers attack. That is huge. That is huge. This unit is super cracked. Oh my goodness. You know how you have me in general and some people who put 3 dodge in the potential system and that procs often enough to be noticeable? Yeah, that's pretty much what the 1666% is gonna be. That's what it is. Really, that's what it is. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. That's going to be it for the video. Please let me know your thoughts down below what you think of these units. Thank you all so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. If you are new here, please leave a like down below if you enjoyed. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.